Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is a place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday. You know, we're going to be talking tech in English. I'm here with my co host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. So sit back, relax. We're going to have some great things for you today that'll help you navigate what's going on in your business life. So, without further ado, what's happening today, Fran?
All right. So, this is the time that we talk about this week in tech history.
Mm-hmm.
So, March 31st, 1995, Microsoft releases their epically ill-fated software package, Bob, whose name will forever live in infamy. Given the tide of popularity and visibility, Microsoft was riding on the way to releasing Windows 95 later that year. Bob was the first highly visible flop for Microsoft. Future flops for Microsoft included Windows ME, the Zune, and Windows Vista, to name a few. While
Wow.
Bob was killed only a year later, many of the ideas that went into Bob were salvaged by Microsoft, most notably the Clippy assistant, which was perhaps as equally as derided by computer users. That, the little Clippy on Microsoft, the little paper clip they used to dance and try to help you.
Yes. What
Okay.
happened to? Oh yeah, I remember that. Did it go away?
Right.
I didn't use it long enough to, but we did test it.
Yeah, and there's a history of Bob. I can put the link over here if anybody is interested on the history of Bob. I'm putting the link in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, the history of Bob. Okay, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next story. March 31st, 1999, the hugely successful motion picture The Matrix is released on this day. Many call it a classic. Okay, that's me. Many call it influential. This is the author talking. Okay, that's me again. But no one can deny that the impact that it had on many aspects of our society, from the emerging tech culture to the movie industry to science fiction to political thinking. The Matrix won 4 Oscars. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
On a budget of
I didn't know
63
that.
million. I really had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
On a budget of 63 million, grossed over 463 million, and was the first DVD to sell over 3 million copies. And who could forget some of the famous great quotes from this movie, including "Free your mind," "Dodge this," "There is no spoon," "Don't think you are, know you are," and "Welcome to the real world." "I know kung fu." You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Uh, uh, the Matrix was really good.
Here's Mark. Mark waited in
Marcy,
already.
Someone needs to reset this Matrix. I think I swallowed the wrong pill. Thank you, Mark. Yes,
It's
the
always a
Matrix.
blessing.
Yeah, the Matrix was good. And when it still comes on TV, I still watch it. Just, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you gain so many new insights when you're like, oh, I didn't see that before. It was a lot of little stuff
I'm
in the
telling
movie.
you, you do. When you see something over again, say, "Oh, I missed that part.
Right.
I must have been eating popcorn or something."
Let's see. Internal combustion engine is patented April 1st, 1826.
Mm.
Samuel Morey patents the internal combustion engine. However, he didn't have a car to rev it into. Oh, wait. Okay, this is the author again. However, he didn't have a car to rev it in to impress the chicks. He didn't. Okay.
Okay. There was no muscle car yet.
No
Okay,
muscle
gotcha.
car. And Mark has another comment here.
Of
And
course.
they're making the new Matrix sequel now. Well, pre-virus, hopefully it will be better than the previous sequels. I agree with you, Mark. The second and the third one were like, why? The first one, the original Matrix was good. The second one was okay. Then the third one was like, seriously, where
Hi,
are we going
Gabriella.
with this?
Gabriella's in here today. How you doing?
Hey, Gabriella. Okay, April 1st, 1976, the Apple computer is formed by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in order to sell their personal computer kits, later known as the Apple I. Launching the personal computer revelation. From this point on, the word Apple is associated as much for computers as it is for fruit.
Mm.
TJ,
Okay.
woo!
Oh, hey, we
Hey.
got a retro going on here.
Yay!
We're going with retro. I love it.
Hey.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
Mel.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you ladies doing?
We are
All is
well.
well.
We are well. So glad to
Good.
have you.
I'm here.
Yay!
Hopefully I'll be able to stay in.
Yeah, we thank you. Okay, wait.
We'll get
Mark
to you
is
first.
wait. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You
It looks
sure?
stable. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Mark is saying morning martini during quarantine is happy hour 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Talking about Terry and her glass.
I've got my water in a martini glass this
no.
morning.
I love
You know,
it.
the one you stick in the freezer, the little plastic
Yes.
one. So the fluid that keeps it cold is blue.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was something else this morning too. I was like, it's like,
you know me
okay.
better than that, Fred.
I'm just saying. I was like, okay,
It's
what is
Friday.
It is Friday.
April 1st, 2004, the now ubiquitous Gmail service is launched as an invitation-only beta service. At first, met with skepticism due to it being launched on April Fool's Day, the ease of use and speed that Gmail offered for a web-based email service quickly won converts. The fact that Gmail was invitation only for a long time helped fuel a mystique that those who had a Gmail address were hip and uber cool. Those of us who are actually hip and uber cool didn't mind, of course, and those types of things don't bother hip and uber cool people.
There you go.
It's 2004 that Gmail came out. What are we in 2000 and we're in 2020. Wow, that was a long time ago. 16 years?
16 years, yeah.
Because some of their stuff has gone away. You know what I mean? Gmail is famous for putting something up, and then after, if it doesn't work, they will take it down and say, okay, we're done.
Okay.
But Gmail is still going.
Yep.
And it's free. Well, not really free because you're giving up something to get it. You're giving up your data to get it. Okay. Yes. April 2nd, 1980, Microsoft announced its first hardware product, the Z80 soft card. The soft card is a microprocessor that plugs into the Apple II personal computer, allowing it to run programs written for the CP/M operating system. CP/M was a very popular OS for early personal computers, along with much of the software written for it. In particular, the word processor WordStar is so popular that people will purchase the soft card and a companion 80-column card just to run it on the Apple II. At one point, the soft card product will bring in about half of Microsoft's total revenue. It will be discontinued in 1986 as CP/M's popularity waned. I remember the word star. And this, I guess, is when Microsoft and Apple were working together.
Mm-hmm. They did
Well,
back in the day.
well, Linda's
Right.
in the house. Look at there.
Hey, Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Yes,
Gotta
it
be
will.
handmade.
So
Gotta
many
be
things Gmail
handmade.
had,
Well, I
they
don't know
took
why I'm
away.
singing that. I don't know why I'm singing Gotta Be
Because
Handmade.
okay,
What
because
are you
that's who
singing?
she is.
I
Gotta be
said gotta be
handmade.
handmade. Gotta be
Yeah,
handmade.
yeah. It's just
Right.
gotta be
It's a
handmade.
it's a
I love to
jingle.
hear I love to hear you say that.
It's a jingle.
You
Oh
can
That's
my
use
good
that,
goodness.
though.
Linda. You can use that.
Yes.
And then of course Mark is talking about my cup here.
Yeah. The water is 80 proof. Okay, Mark.
Okay.
I didn't have anything to drink today.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm just loopy from having to go to the grocery store and only have 25 people in at a time.
Oh my gosh, in
But
New York City? Are you kidding me?
Yes. It's the law. They said by
Oh my
law,
gosh.
they can only let 25 people in the grocery store at a time. So I went this morning and I had a great time.
no, because there's not one whole bunch of people up in
Oh,
there.
there was people there.
Okay,
Oh,
but
there
I
was
mean,
people.
but all at this, they were in line.
Yes, in line. Like
Mm.
I've never stood in line to go in the grocery store
I
ever.
was
My
gonna say
neighborhood store.
exactly. It's like waiting for a tennis shoe launch. You know, people
It's just surreal.
it
Surreal.
really is.
Oh, is it my
And I
turn to go in? Okay.
exactly I was explaining this to my daughter yesterday because she's in Texas and
Mhm,
they just started on the, whole thing of
mhm.
of
Of
shutting yeah.
so many people. Well, we just started this week. I mean, before this, I could just walk in. Hey, I'm here. I want to.
Exactly.
And now it's like, and then they announce every 10 minutes, you have to hurry up and buy. You can't linger because other people want to
The
come in
people
the
are
store. It's just
waiting. Yeah.
really
Oh
surreal.
wow.
So
Wow.
that was my
I
morning.
yeah. I
Oh,
was telling my daughter it's probably how her grandmother felt during World War II with
Yeah, the
ration stamps
rations.
and yeah. How
Hmm.
interesting. Okay, and
Yeah.
then we got one
So
more comment and then we're gonna get back to
yeah.
France.
Okay.
At least they're enforcing things in New York City. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
enforcing things in my neighborhood. Everybody
Mhm.
is there. Streets are empty. I don't know why downtown is like when the ship came in, the
Yeah.
USS Comfort, and people wanted to go and see it. I was like, what for?
Why?
why are we going to go see the
We
ship?
can see it on the
I don't know.
internet.
They wanted. I guess they wanted to get out because we've been inside so long. I guess people
Yeah.
wanted, felt like that was an opportunity to go outside. But then the mayor was like, "What are you people doing? You're supposed to be inside." So I don't know. I don't know. Each
Yeah.
each
So
girl is doing
Especially
what they want.
yeah, especially
so
congregated like that.
Mhm.
He went out. Mark says I went out to the store for the first time 17 days. It was like a movie set on the street. Yeah, it is ghostly out
It's
there.
weird. It's
Hmm.
weird.
yeah,
Mhm.
especially if you used to seeing a lot of people and now you're seeing trinkles of
There's
people.
always somebody walking around in New York. It could be 4 a.m. and there's people in
Hmm.
Times Square. There's people walking on the street because everything's open. There
Yes.
are things that don't close here, like
Hmm.
restaurants and bars so to see it like that is just really creepy. Really.
Hmm
Wow. Okay, Fred,
Okay.
So,
what else you got for us?
oh, well, my last story is the first cell phone call, April 3rd, 1973.
Woo! Was it on a brick?
It was on one of them. Yeah, it actually was.
That wasn't on a brick.
It
They used to
It
call
was
those
one of
things
them
brick
big, one of them big, and
satellite phones. Satellite
no, it
I
phones.
know.
wasn't satellite. It was a brick. That wasn't satellite. That phone is
It was,
huge and it's heavy. I've had one,
and it's a
Hmm.
personal phone. Okay.
and it was that thing. You could hurt somebody with that phone.
Yeah. For reference, if anybody wants to know what we're talking about, if you watch the first Lethal Weapon movie, that was the
Uh-huh.
first time I saw that phone, like the phone, like a cordless phone out in the, because I think one of the cops was using it. I was
look.
like, wow. And it was a big,
There he
gigantic thing. Yeah, that's it. It was big.
And it's heavy.
It was a brick. Hello.
And you had to wait. You had to work out your biceps and stuff before you could
just to use it up.
Yes, and that is your week in tech history. That phone was huge.
And Gabriella says I had to.
I had what looked like a backpack for my first.
I remember
car
those.
Yes.
There were two pieces, and one was connected to like a cord. It was like a cord connected to the battery part. That was before they made the brick.
Right.
Like, wow.
Remember?
Yes.
It was a part you had to carry around like a boom box, and then it had the phone, the handset on top, and then you would pick it up.
So it was like a shortwave radio.
See, back in the day, man, that was after the pager, right?
I think I can't remember. I think
that was right after the pager because all the doctors and nurses and stuff had pagers. Then cool people started getting pagers so that they could text between people and stuff.
And then big brick phone. Hey,
and then then it started getting smaller, and then it started getting StarTAC. Mark said I ran across my first cell phone case, a Coach case. It was enormous. And
I remember my first cell phone was those Nokias. Remember Nokia was a big cell phone company. Now they're just not anywhere.
Yes, Gabriella says yes. It was the next boom after pagers.
Okay, yeah. Wow,
yep.
We come a long way.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
I was like, man, a pager.
Yeah, now we FaceTime.
Look, we on video and
oh my gosh.
Gabriella says she still has her Nokia.
Yeah, I think I had mine. I don't know where it is. I just keep it.
I think we had
things around in drawers.
Right, just like somewhere in a drawer, someplace where all of the cell phones go to.
And it was a big deal to have one because I remember I had mine FedEx to my office, and my boss was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, this is my new phone." She was like, "Wow." It was a big deal. It was a really big deal to have a cell phone back then.
I remember when they gave us pagers, and I told them, "Look, y'all don't pay enough for me to be wearing a pager. No, that's too much access. That's 24/7. I'm not a neurosurgeon. Nobody's good. There's nothing involved here that's life threatening."
And Pat says she still has her beeper.
Keep it. That's a collector's item.
That is. So
oh my goodness.
This is all, and like I keep saying every time because I like history. All of the things that we're using now were because of the stuff that came down. People adding on and making better. Now, people who made them folding phones, come on now, y'all. Really?
That's okay. We have to go through some things that work or don't work.
I'm talking. And I'm not talking about the StarTAC.
You're talking about
I'm talking about the new
folding phone. The new one with the head.
What's the buzz? What's the buzz? I haven't heard any buzz about them. There was a big deal did Samsung make it?
I think so.
The folding is folded to a tablet. The one that opens into a tablet. I haven't heard anybody talking about them.
Well, that's because a lot of these things they can't produce now because of the supply chain interruption. Right. Because they're using the Toyota method, which is not to keep stuff in stock. So and the one plant might be in Japan for the paint. Another might be in China for, I don't know, the innards, and then, you know what I mean? So then you got to piece all this stuff together. So as the supply chain is going through these waves, stuff ain't happening. So there's going to be some potential big delays, especially in electronics. They were talking about it on some of the sites.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that could be held up, even though we don't think it's going to be a big deal, but okay. That's our opinion.
Mark said pagers making drug dealers more productive in the 90s.
Oh
It,
boy.
boy,
It
see,
was an
Wow.
entrepreneurial tool, people, because people were trying to source goods. Stop it.
well,
These are all tools
okay,
for the
and
marketplace.
it's the people who were using their powers for bad. Come on, they were. I was like, come on, you. The doctors were using it.
And it's not
Yeah.
it's not just the drug dealers. I mean, Napster was a real interesting experiment too.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
pager situation, people were, not everybody was using it for whatever good
Exactly.
it could do.
there was many uses for the pager,
Many.
business wise and professional and otherwise. And we'll leave
Hmm.
it at that.
Yes. Okay.
Gabriella says, I remember it was a big deal to be able to type hello in the pager. I think it was 43770. Then you
Turn
turned your
it to the
pager
side.
upside down to see the
Hmm.
word. Ooh,
Yep.
Lord. That's
Hmm.
that's more work than the emojis.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh. Learning a
Ooh.
new language. Now, I can remember, I think the precursor to the pager was the secret sender, which was a little toy that my girls had where you could send a
Yeah.
message from one room to the next room. If the person had the other pager,
Uh-huh.
well, the other device, because they weren't
Right.
called pagers, and you could send a secret message. In other words, you could text them.
Oh.
And then next thing you know, we got pagers.
And now we have the ability to text. So let's see. So when iPhone came out, they took the capabilities of making a call
Hmm.
and sending a
Text message.
message, a text
Hmm.
message,
Hmm.
which was the capabilities of the pager, and
Hmm.
then they put the music in it. And
Yes.
then, because I remember the first iPhone did not have a camera.
Okay.
It didn't.
That must
It
be a collector's item.
it
It
had
didn't.
no, there was no camera.
Yeah, they weren't thinking about taking pictures with the first phone.
Mm-mm,
Nope. Mm-mm.
not at all. But when it first came out and you were able to touch the buttons, and people were like, oh, they didn't
Yeah.
care that it didn't have a camera. Now, if it don't have a camera and make coffee and some other stuff, they're not doing it.
Oh my
Sit on
God.
its head, call up
And
your doctor.
seriously, it can make
And
coffee for you. You can program it to
It can.
talk to your coffee maker.
Hmm.
hmm
If you have the right device, coffee maker or adapter.
hmm
Yeah.
Uh, Gabriella asked a question: when did caller
uh-huh.
ID and call waiting come out? Early '80s.
Yeah, I think
No
I'm
idea.
thinking
no, I think
no.
earlier than that. I think earlier than the 80s.
Yeah, I'm thinking the end of the '70s because
Hmm.
when you could see who was calling,
Uh-huh.
Hmm
I remember that. I think it was like
and
late
but
We
it
need
70s.
wasn't
we
on.
need we need Lawana in here. She worked for the phone company for 25 years.
Oh,
She
she would
know
know.
this.
Right. But it wasn't on the cell phone. It was on
Mhm.
the phone that you had at the house that they had
Mhm.
it might have been the
Yeah,
80s because it had to have a screen that
to
you
come
could
up.
see the phone number come up.
Hmm hmm
Mark
Right, but
said,
I think
remember
that, okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
remember when
Um,
phones were for talking? I used to walk 2 miles to school in the winter barefoot and I liked it. Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna move off the phone because Mark is going Mark is going on a tangent. Remember the days when we had to walk to school and the 10 feet there was snow and barefoot? No, Mark, I never walked to school barefoot.
just saying, we are going down memory lane. Okay.
And Gabriella said, I remember my father yelling at us to stop looking at the box on the wall and answer the phone.
Okay.
Oh, for the caller ID?
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Oh
Probably
Good
my.
the
times, good
TV.
times.
So,
Oh
what do
my
we
goodness.
got going on in the news? Or TJ, do you want to start? What we got
No,
going on?
well, okay, I'll go with what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're a fan of Facebook Messenger, which I am, or if you're
Oh
a
yeah.
fan of WhatsApp, you can now install the apps on your computer. Windows and Mac, they have released. Facebook has released the app to download on your computer. So if you like Messenger, the app, remember,
Mhm.
because it's just an app on the phone. So now it's available on the computer.
Now I downloaded that this morning
Oh, you
to
did?
my laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't tried it. But yes, okay. I want to see the difference
It's
because it
just
works
an app.
great on the phone.
No,
It wo-
it's just an app for the computer if you don't want to use your phone.
Okay,
That's
so
really
here's
all it is. Mm-hmm.
all right. So now we have the Messenger app. What I've been noticing about Messenger is that a
Mhm.
lot of companies are using Messenger as a way to contact them if you're having a problem or you need tech support. People are
Yes.
Ah,
using their Messenger app to be able to
interesting.
contact us via Messenger. And I'm like, okay, are you gonna answer the daggone thing, or am I gonna talk to a bot? But
Uh,
that's the
Okay, so
only
uh,
challenge.
right, so see the
uh,
thing about using Messenger that I love, and Fran just mentioned it, is that you can communicate with your clients and your customers, and they don't have to use Messenger because it goes through the Facebook app.
Right.
You
mhm.
don't have to use Messenger, but Messenger is a good standalone app because you can send voicemail. You can do video chat. You can call because there's a
Hmm.
number connected. So you can actually make a phone call, and you can do stories
Heck,
and send messages. And the
Right.
other person doesn't have to have Messenger because I have one of my clients that she doesn't like the Messenger app at all, but she is on Facebook on her
uh-huh.
computer. So I can talk to her. I can use Messenger because I like using it. So I'll send her or whatever. And it goes to her Facebook, her regular Facebook on the desktop inbox. So you don't have to have
Mhm.
Messenger.
Right.
Because
Now,
And I
they have connected it
right.
in
But
the
right.
now
background.
WhatsApp is a different story. I'm not using WhatsApp. That's my
Now
thing.
they
But I know a lot of people like using it, but it doesn't
now
have the encryption.
excuse me.
Hmm.
But I did notice, Terry, over there in the apps that right next to the messenger for your desktop was the
Hmm.
opportunity to download that app that combines Messenger and WhatsApp. Did you see it?
Hmm. No, I didn't
Yeah,
see
and
it.
I
I
was
just
saying,
went and installed Messenger. I
so
was
that
gonna go
came
back
out
to
too. So you
look.
can get two in one in this app, and I'm saying, and I was looking at the reviews, and they were interesting.
Well, here's the thing. I'm against bundling of any kind. I'm
I
serious.
know
I
No, they
she
do
does
the
that to
not
make
like the
it easy.
bundle.
Mhm. They make it for easy for people, but yeah, I agree
right.
with you.
I don't bundle on purpose. Why do I need to bundle my TV and my internet? So if something goes wonky with the TV, now my internet is jacked up. So no, I
That's
don't
But
smart.
it's
bundle.
but isn't this what you said 2 years ago, Terry, that they were going
Yeah,
to merge all this
I
stuff?
said that.
Now here's the
Because
app
I saw it
merging those,
coming. Yeah,
and here's the app merging those two things.
yeah, it makes
See?
sense. If you're a company that you bought this app and that app, and you have your own app, so that means three different things that has programmers have to code for. So that's too much work, too much manpower,
Hmm.
and why do you want to pay, three people when you could just have one, or whoever. You can have less workers working on one thing when it's combined because
Hmm.
you own the apps. So all you have to do is kind of intertwine them together like a braid, and you got one thing instead of three things.
Hmm. Now here's Pat's comment. She
Hmm.
said she asked Eileen why we'd want Messenger on our laptops, and she said that up to 12 people can meet in a group chat. How many
Yep.
people can meet on House Party? Okay, and Gabriella's
Um,
got a
uh,
comment.
I'm not sure. Gabriella says, I noticed that all my IG DMs now show. Yeah, that's because they're combined. That's why.
Right. You
Mhm.
could, because I was in there, I can check on our Facebook. Um, in Facebook, I can check on all the comments and stuff that I got on
Yeah,
Instagram.
Instagram, DMs and
Hmm.
everything. Mhm.
Right. And
Wow.
it's all in there. And it's not an easy or smooth thing right at this
No, it's not.
moment.
Mm-mm.
I was like, okay, so I'm trying. and they make you go into Creator Studio to do it. It's not
Yeah.
where you can just
Ah,
go
And
over
if you
there. And I was
have
like,
and if you have the Facebook pages app, which I have, because if you manage more than one Facebook page,
mhm.
that's the app that you can use. But then I'm getting all of these pop-up notifications from I'm in a bunch of like groups in Instagram. And now when I used to look at my phone and say, okay, it was an important notification from a client, but now I'm getting everything from Instagram. So I'm looking at it going, oh, that's not important. I'm like, I got to get out of this group because all the notifications are popping up on my phone and I pay attention to them where it was before. I just paid attention because it was a client trying to, message me. But now it's
So
everything coming.
I wonder if you can filter that out. If you can
I
turn off the
probably could,
notifications
but I
from
just don't
separate
have the time
groups.
right now. Yeah, I don't
I
have the
hear
time right
ain't
now.
nobody got
And
time
then
for that.
and then when I'm in the Pages app, if it's an Instagram story or something like an Instagram voice
Mhm.
message, it'll say you have to look at this in the Instagram app. I'm like, I don't have time for that. But it is not a smooth transition, but they've done it. So you'll notice that if you go into your Facebook page and you go
Mhm.
into your inbox, everything's there. Everything's there.
Okay.
Instagram, your messages, your messenger, your mail, everything is in there in one thing.
Wow. Wow.
And they have
Mm.
little tabs that this the Instagram tab, and then it's the messenger tab, and then it's the inbox tab, and then I think there's like 4 tabs. So it is
It's
not
just off the
smooth,
chain. Though.
but they did it. And Pat is right. Yes, they put the Facebook Messenger app because Zoom has been taken off. You've heard all the stories about Zoom.
Yep.
Everybody's on Zoom. Zoom has its problems. There's some privacy
Yeah.
stuff. Zoom was
I
giving
Zoom,
information to Facebook without your permission and all kind of stuff. All
but
kind of things.
also Zoom's had some recent issues, right? They've had some Zoom bombing where
Hmm.
people have hacked into different presentations and office meetings and putting up porn and so
Yeah, they
they
have a
they
name for it.
they let
Zoom
people know they're
bombing.
working on that. Yeah.
Zoom bombing.
So
But
don't freak out.
they
They're
they
fixing it.
they figured out that Zoom knew about this before. Now that Zoom had an encryption problem because people were thinking
Mhm.
their stuff was encrypted and everything was closed, but now it exposed all of the weaknesses of Zoom. And Zoom's not the only
No, they're not the
live
only
streaming
one.
platform to use. There's WebEx. It's Cisco WebEx, a Cisco or Citrus. I forgot the name, but it's WebEx that people use. There's Jitsi. Pat told me about that one a while ago. There's a whole bunch of things. You don't have to use
Mhm.
Zoom, but it seems like everybody's going to that because that's the easiest one to do. So now Facebook is saying, okay, we're putting our Messenger app on the computer. So like Pat said, you can you do video chat up to 12 people.
so
But then
Pat
ask
is
yourself,
asking,
you want to? But would you want to on Facebook because of the privacy stuff?
well, okay, but then you're still getting jacked over on
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 Zoom,
Zoom.
yeah.
different
So
and,
it's like,
and Skype, all of them are having this
okay,
bombing problem. So
okay, I've never liked Skype in the
Me
first place.
either.
Skype was
I'm not a fan.
difficult.
I'm just saying people use it. Okay.
Well, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
oh,
Pat has a question here.
question.
Where am I supposed to go to download Messenger for
The App
Macintosh?
Store. The App
The
Store.
app.
Right, in the App
Mhm.
Store, when on the bottom of your screen, there is
It's
the
the
App
blue
Store
egg.
on your Mac. And
It's a blue egg.
I'm gonna say this because some people don't do it, and I'm looking at people. Please upgrade your computer. We supposed to be on Catalina, and we got people still on um,
Yosemite.
Mojave.
Oh, Javi.
I'm like, we're supposed to be up because a lot of stuff that you not just Pat. I'm just
Security
talking in
issues.
general.
Security patches. Yes.
Right,
Fran is right. You must update your Mac, your device, your phone, everything. Whenever Apple pushes out a update, please do it right away.
right.
It's your
They're not.
protection.
It's not just like I
No,
don't
it's
want all the
protection.
new features.
Hmm. Security
It means
patches. Security
mhm.
patches. They're always looking for security holes and they have to patch them all the time.
Mhm.
So that's what it's about. So she's right. You're right. Do the update and please back up.
Right.
Back up.
Uh, she said she showed us the message that when they said it's available only on the App Store, but
No, I did mine.
No,
I did mine
I
yesterday.
the
yeah. Is
App
my
Store,
laptop considered a?
there's an App Store on your laptop.
Hmm.
It really is. Down at the
Yeah,
bottom, it's around a the blue
yeah.
with an A on the bottom of
Okay,
your.
let me go there.
It's like popsicle sticks. And if
Yeah,
you don't see it on the bar below, it's on the applications. And when you go in, you just type in Facebook Messenger, and it comes
right,
up.
right. Because it is there. Because I see mine too. Um, Not on the phone, Terry. On
Yeah,
the
but
lap.
the app looks the same. I was trying to
Okay,
show the icon.
okay, go ahead. Because
Okay, let's see
It's
if
the
we can get.
first. It's the when you go in, type Facebook Messenger. It's
It's
the
this
first
little blue
item.
one.
It says
yeah,
Messenger.
right, and
See the
it's
little blue icon.
so yes. Update your stuff. A lot of times we want to know how come something is not working. It's because we haven't updated our systems.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
And
WhatsApp is there too. When you type in WhatsApp, is there too. I just
right.
looked at it on my
The
air.
one, the dual one. Yeah.
Um
I
Now
didn't
I
see the
saw
dual one. They're two separate ones. I didn't see the
Yeah.
dual one. I'll look for
Instagram.
that.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
That's
Instagram
it's
is doing
there.
something too, so that people can connect and you can share um your posts with people and have a conversation with them.
They're doing, yeah.
It's
They're
like a
doing a group
chat.
chat thing too. Yeah, they're
I
doing
tell
that.
you, I saw the cutest thing on TikTok.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they were. You know how we used to pass the mic? Well,
Yeah.
some of my sorority sisters were doing before and after pictures. They're sitting there looking all grubby at home, and then they take the brush and brush the screen and show a picture of them dressed, to the nines, and then they drop the brush, and the next video comes up of a different soror. I said, "Oh, this is so cute!" So it's just like a rolling video of a magic
Yeah.
wand type of thing. Okay,
Yeah,
that's a
people are
different.
creative. People are really
They
creative on
getting
TikTok.
so
Yeah.
they can connect.
Mhm. And
Okay, that's cute.
speaking of TikTok,
Hmm.
YouTube is seeing that TikTok is getting all of,
Yeah.
so they putting out something called shorts. They're putting out something called shorts. Shorts will allow people to upload brief videos in a feed inside the mobile app, much like TikTok, and take advantage of licensed music that YouTube Music has as a catalog. So you can use
Hmm.
the music that's within YouTube Music on your videos. Because remember, TikTok it lets people use songs in the, you can pick a song that they have in their listing, or you
Yes.
Yes.
could talk, or you could just use your own voice. But you get more traction when you use a popular song, because that
Mm.
goes into the hashtag. Remember, there's a big hashtag section. We talked about it the other day, that they're getting billions of views on the popular hashtags. So hashtags are important in TikTok and music.
Hmm.
You can still come on and just talk. Like Gary Vee comes on and he talks. There's a lot of people that come on and just talk. They don't use the music part of it. But that's the beauty of TikTok. It's so versatile. There's so many things you can do with the music, the video, and once you do a video, you can go in and edit it and add transitions and filters. You can add all kind of things to your video. And that's the
What
fun
I
of
what I like about TikTok is that I don't have to worry about whether it's like this or like
it. Right.
this. I was like, oh my God, because Messenger, when you want to use Messenger, like if you wanted to upload a video from Facebook to your Messenger account, you can do it in the Creator Studio, but it has to be formatted in the right way.
Right.
But every video that you take is always landscape.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so you don't even want to bother with it
Mm.
because they
To
do it to
fit,
me.
just trying to get it to fit. Wow.
So you have to,
Right.
you know,
Wow.
it's not an easy thing to do. So I was like, okay,
Hmm.
we gotta do something. Now, I was on Facebook today,
Hmm.
and we had sent out a video for a client, and uh, the video went out, and then people liked it or reacted to it. Reacted to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it says on there, help so and so see more of your content by inviting them. And I had never done it before. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, how do you do that? Well, if you click on the reactions,
Mm-hmm.
it'll bring up a list of the people who reacted, and then there's
Right.
an invite button. I was like, oh,
Right.
this is easy. So
Yeah.
that you can invite people to watch it the next time, which grows your
Grows
page.
grows your page, grows
So
your
now
views,
this
get
is
more
on
attention.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on Facebook. Whenever somebody likes or they
Yeah.
laugh
Mhm.
or whatever their reaction is,
Thumbs
if
up. Mhm.
if they are not following you, Facebook tells
Oh,
you.
okay.
Invite them. You can invite them. Right.
Right. And
Nice.
I
Facebook
was
will tell
like, I had never, I said, let me see what this does. And I'm like, how do I do that? And I just tapped on the people who I
Right.
tapped on the reactions, and it gave me a list and says invite or they already liked. So the
Right.
Mm,
people who were not liking the page,
Mm-hmm.
you invite them to like the page. I was like, oh,
nice.
So
Nice.
there's a lot of things going on with video now, as you could tell, because we've been talking about, video and all of the marketing experts and everybody was like, oh, this is the year of video. They've been saying it for like 5 years. But now we see, because people are at home and they're like, well, let me see what this video thing is about. So they're doing house parties, like the number one social media app on the App Store. There's TikTok is growing. Facebook is wising up and putting Messenger on the computer so they can have,
Mm-hmm.
chats. YouTube is going to do their shorts. It's going to come. They're saying it's going to come out by the end of this year, but they really should be
Yes,
putting that thing out now while
I
everybody
think
can.
so. I mean, it's not like they haven't done it before with Vine.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
come on, give it to us.
Yeah.
and
So
see
it's
the
coming with
the,
that.
the
So mhm.
it's putting people together so that there's like we're here on StreamYard, we can get three other people in with us. They made it easy for that. Zoom, you can have up to 1,000. Oh no! Oh, let me give you. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Freeconferencecall.com.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Write
yeah.
that
I
down.
think you mentioned that before.
Freeconferencecall.com allows you to have a phone call, but they also let you do video chats
What?
with up to 1,000 people.
Are you kidding me?
Freeconferencecall.com. I was like, shut up. Let me.
Check this
I was like,
out.
okay.
So
We just
first
don't use
Mondays
it.
is going to be here on this platform into
I,
Facebook,
I might do it free conference call.
because I'm thinking free conference call might be interesting.
We
And
we
do we
can
want
try
to
it out.
experiment with it on
Yeah,
that night?
yeah. Play with it. We'll do a run maybe at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon and play with it.
Yeah.
Freeconferencecall.com
I
is
put it in the
Wow.
yeah.
right. And I was like, what? And they keep sending me stuff. You could do video calls and you can put up share your screen and the whole 9 yards. I'm like, wait a minute. And it's free.
So see, you don't have to use Zoom. Zoom is just the one that everybody knows and hears about and
And
goes to.
familiar with, yeah.
Yeah, there's many. Like Alfredo says he used Jitsu.org, and that's free. I mentioned that one earlier. That's the one that Pat
Mm-hmm.
knows about. There's tons.
Uh-huh.
There's WebEx. A lot of journalists that the on TV, like I watch Yahoo Finance, so now they're all at home. The
Yeah.
reporters are all at home, but they use WebEx because I can see.
Ah.
Sometimes you see the screen. I was like, oh, they're using WebEx to bring everybody onto the TV screen. So there's different ones now. Skype, if you like Skype, go ahead, but we're not fans of Skype here.
I'm not fan. I don't like all of that
And
extra
there's
stuff.
some more. There's a couple more that I can't remember offhand, but
Mm-hmm.
play around with it and see which one you like.
Exactly. So um,
She said, "Wow, Tracy Gregg,
Linda,
you're amazing."
It's called Get Out There and Play and Push a Button.
Yeah.
Evite, where you can have a party and live stream. Now, see, the only problem I did not like with Evite, because Evite is nice, but there were too many ads with Evite.
okay.
I did not
Okay.
like the fact that you got to swim through ads.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is not good. And Jay wants to know where he can get a domain name, TJ.
Okay, you can go to name.com, namecheap.com. Those are the two that I know about, and they have sales. Namecheap.com has sales all the time. Like I bought a domain the other day, it was $3.99. I bought one, they had an 88 sale, it was 88 cents for the first year. It was 88 cents. But the next year it goes back to 10 or 12 or whatever the regular price is. But just around, I say name.com and namecheap.com. I do not use GoDaddy, and I don't recommend GoDaddy for anything. But if you want to use GoDaddy, I'm not going to stop you. But though I say Namecheap and name.com.
So is that CHEAP?
Cheap, yes, cheap. CHEAP. Name cheap. I'll put it in the comment. Cheap.
Okay. All right.
Mark said he's having a quarantine happy hour on Zoom with college friends tonight.
Makes sense. Makes sense. People are trying to find ways to get together. Now, I read an article because Linda is in South Carolina. I read an article about the fact that they are in some school districts actually sending out Wi-Fi buses because people don't have access to broadband. And so they are putting buses in where the schools are so that the people can connect to Wi-Fi to get their homework done. And so, I mean, we're getting very creative with all of this.
Yes. And the New York City schools, they are sending out devices with Wi-Fi on them to who, the families had to sign up. So the priority is homeless families and low income families. So there was you had to sign up on a list, and I think the principal said they were mailing them out today or giving them out today. And so that's how they're doing it here for, if you didn't have a laptop, the school will sign up and will give you a device. So
and free Wi-Fi.
and then we have Wi-Fi on the, every block has Wi-Fi in New York. Like
in New York, okay.
It looks like a phone booth, so it makes calls. You can charge your device.
Cute. It looks like a phone booth. So they repurpose those phone booths. I love it.
It's new ones, and they have advertising on them. So it's not the old phone booths. It's just a kiosk. They put kiosks on every corner. So you can, and I did this one time. I just walked down. I kept walking in every block. I had Wi-Fi because it just one block. So it just handed off to each of the kiosks. So
that is so cool.
And before the library closed, you could check out a router for Wi-Fi in your house for like a week.
That was cool.
But now the library's closed, so you can't do that. So that's why the schools is signed up everybody that needed a device. They're on a list, so they're getting them this week, and they have Wi-Fi on them. So
thank you for putting that in the chat, Terry.
No problem.
Jay says Portland, Oregon is doing that for students here, giving it out.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
And then Alfredo says phone booth, Wi-Fi, yes. Linda said, yes, so true. And Spectrum is giving rural areas Wi-Fi in all homes. However, we are in a dead zone, still don't get it. We are in no man's land.
Yeah, because the rural.
And I think this is really bringing the whole issue to the forefront, because there's always been a complaint about the digital divide. And because we've had such internet connectivity in most of our areas who are on here, we didn't realize that 163 million people in America don't have access.
Well, that's why Google was doing that Google Fiber.
Yes, program. they have, and that's what they were pushing, trying to get it done. Okay, I'm going to go down a rabbit trail here. Do you notice that Congress is not talking about we need to stop these tech companies? They stop that crap.
They stop that because they
Well,
need tech
now
companies
they're
are like
trying to get them
utility
to
now.
connect us.
It's
Yeah,
like a
now
utility now. It's
and
actually
the thing is that they're trying to get them. They're trying to pass a bill to pay them because they're not regulated because they decided that they weren't phone companies. It's going to take an act of Congress to change them into a utility. And I don't know if we really want that kind of regulation. But
right.
nevertheless, at least they're willing to pay them to connect these folks.
At least we're talking about the digital divide and making
For a
sure
change.
online. At least we're talking about it and trying to do something. And I know Google has had their fiber program for a while, so they're slowly doing it, but it needs to be done.
They have always wanted Wi-Fi for all.
Yes.
Yes.
Every tech company, whether it's Microsoft or Google or anybody, they always were pushing Wi-Fi for everybody.
Right.
And it took something happening, a crisis,
for them
to get on board.
Right. And if they if there's Wi-Fi everywhere, then people will get a device or buy a device or get on and sign up to a service or whatever. Because if you have Wi-Fi, it's like it's like almost like water, almost.
To me, it's like a civil defense system.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's entitled to know when there's a crisis in the country.
So here's the thing: it was just like when there was a radio. Everybody had a transistor radio. You could get you can dial in and tune in for radio announcements. Well, now it's Wi-Fi and you can still tune in. Now, almost everybody can tune in now. But before, it couldn't happen. And people and the people without Wi-Fi, even when I'm selling homes, I told them, I was like, look, check and make sure your phone works in this house.
Right.
That makes sense, Francis.
Because don't come back to me and I can't get Wi-Fi in here. And there are some homes like not too far from me. They got to go somewhere else to get on to go and use their computer. I was like, that's crazy.
Wow. But that means that it shows you how important it is to have it. You're buying a new home. You check the water, check the pipes, you check the plumbing, check this, check the Wi-Fi. That's one thing.
Connectivity. Yes.
You got to check it out for dead zones, dead spots. If you need to have Wi-Fi extenders in different parts of the room to you got to check. And there are people that do that for you. There are people that will, there are companies that will do that for you. To come out and check out, where the dead spots are, what you need. Yeah, that's a business.
Yeah, and Jay says she has plugins. She says Wi-Fi has a lot of dead zones.
Their Xfinity has it where you can go get these plugs and plug them around your house to help boost that. Good morning, Brenna. Gabriella says 15,000 high school kids in LA have not logged on to their classes. Okay. I'm thinking they just didn't want to. Some of them just probably like, I'm not doing it. But this crisis is definitely.
I want to talk about that for a second because that happened to my daughter. Like my daughter's on, doing her stuff on her laptop, and one of the teachers was like, I don't know what happened, but it was like, oh, she hasn't logged in, and so she called me. So you got to have that connection with the teachers where they can reach you or, someone knows to check. Because my daughter has different teachers that she has to get on video with because they're doing like wellness checks for the kids. Because she sent an email saying that she has to be on camera because they have to check. And I'm like, that's doing the wellness check because the teachers, if they notice anything going on, abuse or anything, they can send the police to the home. Because they're not at school anymore. So the teacher could see if something was wrong. But now it's like, okay, for one or two teachers, she has to be on camera and they have to see the child.
And I want to say this, being a former teacher, that when you come into someone's home, sometimes you don't know what the condition is, and the kids don't want to be on camera. You don't even know if they have a home. I had a student that was homeless, and I didn't even know it. They were like in 8th grade. I was teaching 8th grade history in Newark. And this kid was homeless, and I kept wondering why they hung around all the time. Fortunately, I was single, and I saw them walking, and they were picking up younger siblings, and they were homeless. I'm like, where's your mom? So that's 1,500 kids. You don't really know what their status is. And you would be surprised how many kids are living in cars with their parents. They may not be, parentless, but they may be homeless.
Maybe it's different states, but here in New York, they know the homeless kids, and they know
In
all
some
of
cases
that.
we do, but there's a lot of shame associated with homelessness.
No,
And if you are
when you register with your school, you have to either give an address or you say here. I don't know how it is wherever else, but that's how they know they have so many homeless kids, and to give them devices and figure out how to give it to them. So I don't know about other places, but here we know that this is a homeless student, and they get the extra help that they need. It's all in the school system. Everything that they need is there. There was a couple of comments. I know one from Brenna I wanted to look at.
Is that the one?
Yeah, she said, I had to go take my son's computer to our local tech. It hasn't worked for 4 years. I discovered it doesn't have Wi-Fi, so they were able to provide a adapter. Yeah, so if you have to look and see the age of your tech. And I was going to bring up, I know everybody may not be able to afford it, but that's what the Chromebook is for, because the kids are doing school in Google Classroom.
Right.
Google Classroom, what they're using. So you don't really need, if you don't have a laptop, you don't need to break the bank. Or like I said, here in New York, they were giving out devices, but this is where you get a Chromebook because it's cheaper, and they're using Google stuff. They're using Google Classroom.
And there are some places, Xfinity is giving away their low-level Wi-Fi for like $14.95 a month.
Yeah.
You're not going to make a movie with it, but you will be online at $14.95.
Email, Google Classroom, browser. You're not going to edit movies with that. You got to edit video with that.
No, but you will get on. AT&T has, every one of the providers are trying to do something to make sure everybody's on. And if you are on, they're not going to cut you off.
Right.
If you didn't pay your bill, they will just reduce you from whatever speed you were down to
the minimum.
The minimum, right? So they will give you. They want everybody to be connected. I believe there should be so many refurbished devices. And I agree, Chromebook is genius because you don't have to worry about the.
It's perfect. It has the camera and everything's for Wi-Fi.
Everything's in there.
And the kids are going to Google Classroom. That's what they use. So you're good to go. You don't have to break the bank. You can get that Chromebook and you're good.
Which probably what it's going to cost you to fix that old tech.
Linda Nance, and the CEO of Spectrum is amazing and so kind. I was able to reach him, and he sent 2 crews out. I wanted to use some of our land to put a tower, but they just couldn't. It's great that they are trying. Our students are having to pick up their assignments and return them to school.
Oh, wow.
Because wherever they are, it is bad.
South Carolina, she's in South Carolina in the rural area.
But she talked to the CEO of Spectrum. Come on now, and they sent the crews out.
I'm just saying
to try and fix it. I know that there's satellite and some other stuff, but if I'm not mistaken, the satellite and trees don't mix, so it's very difficult if there's a lot of trees.
Yeah.
And Alfredo says children must practice being socially responsible. Gamers eat a lot of data. Chromebook may not have the horsepower to stream.
Right.
Actually, it does, because the horsepower comes from
You
your
use a StreamYard, you're good to go.
Connect.
yeah. That horsepower comes through your internet connection, not necessarily Chrome.
If you're using StreamYard or BeLive or something browser based, you just open anything browser based is good on a Chromebook.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Alfredo
Alfred-
said
Go
he
ahead.
said he knows how to fix old tech.
Mhm.
So somebody in your community knows how to fix old tech, but it might be just as expensive as buying a Chromebook and being done with it.
Right. Chromebook is a couple of $100.
And then you're up to date with your tech. It's up to date. It's not like 7, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And trying to make things work.
Patch it up over here. Let me put a piece of gum on that over there.
Okay.
Now,
Playing
old tech,
MacGyver.
if you got an old tower computer, that's good for server. Like if somebody putting a home server in their house, you can use an old computer for that because you know how to fix it. Alfredo's saying no, it doesn't work with Chrome and StreamYard.
Is he talking about the Chromebook?
The
Yes.
Chromebook works. I've seen
It
it work.
works.
I brought up Chromebook because we're talking about kids getting online for school.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about live streaming. Kids are not live streaming.
No, they're just going to the internet to get their work done.
Google Classroom, and that's it.
And to
Now,
see the
if
teacher.
they got a
Yeah.
phone, and they have a phone if they want to do anything else, like house party or whatever, TikTok, whatever they're using. So we brought up Chrome for school.
Right. And the Chromebooks that my clients who were challenged and they kept getting pop-ups and all that crap that comes on
Windows
on a PC or Windows.
Mm-hmm.
They got Chromebooks and they're fine.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm pro Chromebook, seriously, because especially if you don't want to invest the money in a system.
Right. It may be overkill for what you need,
Right.
because if, say, for instance, now, people are like, okay, we have a home computer, or mom or dad has a work laptop or whatever, and the kid needs to do homework. That's your Chromebook. You get the Chromebook for them, to do their work.
And stay off my Mac.
Stay off my Mac. They're not messing your settings up, and they have that, and it's good for what they need to do for browsing and Google Classroom. They have a phone. If they have a phone, they can do everything else on the phone.
Right. And, there are parents who are probably saying, kids now are 6 years old and have phones.
Yep, they do. They have them.
Let's see. Mark has a question. Speaking of tech, do you happen to know the best program to use to wipe hard drives on old laptops? I have a couple of old ones that could be donated or used for parts, but I have to make sure they're clean. Okay.
Mark, I can find out for you. I'll let you know. These are Windows machines.
That's what I needed to know too. Are they Windows or are they Mac? Because I know how I look. I had to wipe a Mac clean too when I turned them back in. But they, I figured out how to do it. I was like, oh. And Alfredo says use a hard drive wiper and marks that they are PCs.
Right. So he needs to know which program.
And okay. Yeah.
I'll find out.
I'm not bilingual anymore. I don't do PC. I don't do PC and Mac anymore.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Brenna says the district offered a Chromebook, but I said I don't want to take from others that need. It costs $120, $25 to fix. Oh, she was talking about the district offered a Chromebook to her son's son, but she decided just to go ahead and fix it. Brenna, when people want to give you something,
you best
take it.
Especially in your situation, you have a lot of things going on that you have to make adjustments for.
And
I
the
would call them
Chromebook,
back and see if they got any left.
because the Chromebook is up to date, because that fix is going to be a patch. You know what I mean?
And it's got, weren't you talking about updating the software on your Mac? How some people are still on on whatever, and we're here now. Well, it's the same thing with patching stuff, right?
Right. See, okay, so here's the thing. You can't put new wine in old wine skins. You can't
Yep.
put new software on an old system.
And what kind of chip is in there?
It's not going to support whatever you're trying to do. I got to the point because the state of California had a surplus place,
Mm.
and you can go and buy surplus computers, right, for real cheap. But there's a reason why they're in the junkyard.
Well, they were never really full service computers. They were designated. We used to call them dumb terminals because we
Yep.
weren't letting anybody in that system. It was an intranet device, if you will, and everybody was locked out because we're dealing with confidential stuff. And so the only thing you could do was process paperwork in a designated program. So when they put it out there for the public, there probably was nothing inside.
And the thing was that you thought, okay, so here's the thing I'm going to say. We need to stop being cheap and go and pay for what you need to make sure that you're doing what you need to get done. I'm all for getting a deal, but sometimes you just need to pony up and get the equipment that's going to help you do what you need to do.
Yes.
And
Because
and
you don't want old hardware. That's one thing you don't want, because it takes too much time, effort to fix it, to bring it up to speed to where, like Fran said, you get what the Chromebook. It's the same price as if you fixed an old piece of equipment. And you don't want to fix an old piece. It's like fixing an old car. There's too
oh my
much
God.
When you could have a new one, which you could have a new economy car.
10-year-old car, 12-year, whatever, old. You don't want to, because you can't find the parts, or there's got to be a mechanic that knows how to fix that old car. So you're spending money. You're spending money on things. You could get new tech because it runs faster. The processor is faster. Everything is faster on the motherboard of a newer computer. And like we said, the Chromebook is less expensive. So those are the things you need to think about.
You don't have to go and get the 2500 MacBook Pro. You ain't got to do that. You can get a Chromebook for a couple of $100, 300, it depending on who makes it. They're made by HP, Samsung. There's different people that make a Chromebook, but just you're not going to pay more than you don't have to pay more than 500. It just depends on what you want on the Chromebook, the style of it or whatever.
Okay, there's a question from Jay. I wanted to. Did you see it from Jay?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Jay says, if I buy a domain name, should I pay for DNS for $488? Are you looking on Namecheap, Jay, or are you on Name? Because when you go to Namecheap, they give you buy the domain and everything comes with it. You don't have to add on anything. Like if you want to hide the billing information for the domain, they will hide your record, and it's a registrar called Whois that lists the name and addresses of everybody who owns a domain. Namecheap will give you that for free. So when you buy the domain, say the domain is $3.99, $8.99, whatever, you get everything you need to get with it. So I'm not sure if you're going somewhere else.
If you went to name.com, Name probably offers you to hide your stuff for like $1 or something or whatever. They charge you extra. And but that's that $4. That might be that $4.88 he's talking about.
So go to Namecheap. Go to namecheap.com. Everything is included. and you only pay the one price. There's nothing you have to do.
Right. And if you go to name, you don't have to get the extra stuff. Hey, would you like fries with that?
Yeah,
Just
you
say
don't need
no.
all that.
Just say no and check out.
So go
Mhm.
to namecheap.com. Don't forget about the others. Because Namecheap, that's the one I use. And I just go, I see a domain, I buy it, and I don't have to worry about
Mhm.
anything. No extra, none of that. All of that is
Mm-mm.
in there that I need.
Right. And I don't mind. I like name.com because I know how to use it and I know how to say no to all the little stuff.
Mhm.
GoDaddy is a different animal.
Yeah,
And Gabriella said,
yeah,
yeah, Gabriella says, before I got nickel and dimed. Yeah, I understand that.
you
I'm
gotta
like,
watch out. I'm always talking about GoDaddy. I've been talking about GoDaddy for years on here. Like, do not use Go. I don't know. It's like Zoom. Everybody knows Zoom, so they go to Zoom. It's not the best option. Everybody knows about GoDaddy because they're advertising, but that doesn't make them the best at anything. Actually, they're the worst. So
Mm.
definitely do not use them for hosting. Ooh, let's not even get started. Don't get me started on GoDaddy. I'm not gonna
wow,
talk.
because okay, we
No,
won't talk about them.
yeah, we won't talk. GoDaddy, get away.
Just
No.
say no.
Mm-mm.
Mm. Well, T-Mobile completed their merger with Sprint finally. That was a
Oh,
good thing.
sorry. Jay has another. Jay is still
Oh,
asking. Hold on. Let's get to him.
yeah,
He
he
says
is.
it says privacy and uptime protection below. Okay,
And
so I
that's
don't
Mhm.
want you to sign
that's
up.
the $4.88
Yeah.
additional for them to
Oh.
make sure that nobody sees your stuff. And
Yeah.
that's okay. You don't have to do that, but I'm gonna tell you, if you don't mind ignoring emails, it's fine, because what happens is if you don't do it when you get your domain, hi, I'm Bill and I can help you build a website. Or
Okay.
you'll get people who are sending you emails to
Mhm.
Okay. He says I'm on name. Okay, yeah. Go to Namecheap. All you do is find your domain, type it in, put it in the cart, and buy it. Nothing else to do.
Mark is funny. I'm gonna go buy bizchicksgonewild.com. Okay.
Yeah, buy it. Is it available?
It probably is available.
Brenna has a big comment.
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm gonna
new
put it
tech has issues too. I learned the hard way, and now say in my daughter's case for seizure meds, I want to tried and true, not all the unknowns and side effects. This transfers over into all areas for me. Yeah, new tech does have issues too, and that's why you you need to.
less of a hair pulling issue than with an older machine.
Right. And the new tech at least has new people, has support that you can talk to
So
about
this right.
fixing it.
You know what they do to an old machine? They put a new motherboard on it. If you're doing a new motherboard, you might as well get a new computer.
Mm.
Honestly, that's my opinion. They're gonna
Mhm.
put a new motherboard in. That's
Well,
all
they
they're gonna
have
do.
to give you the
Yeah,
capacity, right?
yeah. They have
I
to.
I
Because
woke
a
up one
motherboard,
day.
they're soldered onto a motherboard. They can't remove. The only thing you put on the motherboard is the memory chips, and that's it. So they're replacing and the motherboards are expensive. So that's where the costs come from to fix an old computer. And Alfredo, you can jump in here and put your because he does it too. That's what they're doing. So you might as well get a new computer.
Mhm. Mm.
Put a new motherboard in.
Yeah, I got tired of fixing my computer every week just to do some work. I just got tired of doing. I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous.
It's like having an old car, 20 year old, something old, where it's like every
Mhm.
is something wrong and you got to take it to the mechanic that can fix it.
And you paying him, he just happy to see you smiling. Hey,
He's
what have
loving it.
you done today? I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this. I'm tired of seeing you. And Jay is asking, what's the best RAM you need for your PC? See the whole thing. I don't have to. I don't deal with how much RAM do I need for my computer. I
Mhm.
don't have
Mhm.
to even wonder. I can go to my computer and click, and it
Hmm.
works. I'm
Okay, so
not.
I'm gonna give some generic stuff, Jay, because I can't get specific. So it depends on what you're doing with the computer. If you're doing video editing and stuff like that, you need more, as much as you can put in and much as you can afford. Memory prices are like stock; they go up and down. So the memory prices don't stay the same. Um, if you're not going to do labor intensive things like Photoshop, photo editing, video editing with a PC, you can I would say at least have 16, 16 gig of RAM. I wouldn't go below 16, but that's me. Okay. I would not go below 16. I would go more actually, but it depends on what you're doing with the computer. So if you're just going on and going to browsing, doing some Word, you have Word or PowerPoint or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, go with 16 at minimum. Minimum. I know some come with 4 and 8, but I would go 16, even 32. But that's me. And it depends on the motherboard configuration and how you know how you can put it in 4x4, or it depends on the slots and stuff. That's just some basic stuff. But you would need to talk to somebody who knows how to do that for you. But I would say six.
Mm.
And the prices go up and down. Memory prices go up and down. They're probably up now because everything is up. The price of everything. Did you know that the Logitech C920 webcam, which is an old cam, like at least 5 or 6 years old, I got mine for $40. It is now on Amazon for $200 because they don't have it's all third party sellers and everybody wants a webcam. The newer Logitech cameras are like $300-400 when before they was like 160. So the price of
Mm.
Okay.
everything price is going up because you can't get out and get it. Amazon can't really ship it to you. You can
The
do curbside.
supply chain is
Right.
interrupted.
Everybody wants a webcam and everybody wants a mic. The prices have like tripled. So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Right now everything is expensive tech wise.
Okay. But your computer, if you have a newer one, comes
Hmm.
with a mic
Yep,
and a webcam.
it does. It does. And
I'm
that's why
using I'm using my webcam that was built in, and
Mm-hmm.
my
Me too.
mic I'm using my AirPods, but
Exactly.
normally it's built in. I don't have to, okay, let me put a camera on the top, let me get a mic and
Okay. Well, we
okay.
don't know what we don't know. That's why people tune in on Fridays
Right.
and
That's
we
what so
will.
Brenda
Yeah. So
says I'll get the
thank
Chromebook
you
that
guys.
fails. And then Brenda says, "Ooh, my laptop doesn't hold a charge anymore. The battery's built in. I did the battery drain and reset didn't work. It's an HP 2 years old. Any suggestions?" Yeah, the battery.
Chromebook.
I was gonna say the same thing, Chromebook.
She
I
Let,
got
let
know
me
you
give it.
just
Let me give an illustration because I'm not a techie person. Brenna, this is like when you have a car and the alternator keeps going down.
mm-hmm.
Okay, then the alternator leads to the battery. Then next thing you get a new battery, but then you don't know why the new battery isn't working because the alternator was never changed out. Now we got to take the whole car apart to get to the alternator, only to find out that there's another element in there that needs to be replaced. You
Mm-hmm.
get the bill. The bill is
Right.
$1,200. Whereas if you had gotten a new device, the bill would be $300.
But see, here's
It's
the deal
you.
with
You
batteries.
can make a choice.
Batteries are there's no battery that's gonna last you 2 years. They're all designed to fail. They're all designed to fail. So if there's one that you can't remove and it's not working, you're gonna have to get it serviced, like Terry just said. You have to get it serviced by a mechanic, someone who knows how to do that. So it would be HP or someone who's HP certified or something, or if you know someone who knows how to fix
Or you're
HP,
calling the
they're
Geek Squad at
gonna
$75
have
an
to do that
hour.
because the battery is not. If you had a removable battery, you could just buy a new one. But batteries on laptops do not last beyond 2 years. That's just one of the things about laptops. Um,
uh,
Gabriella says, I do a lot of video editing, and I need something more powerful than my 2012 iMac. Unfortunately, the Mac Pro is more. Yes, the Mac Pro.
Okay, I was going to say to that, you may not need the Mac Pro.
hmm You
The-
don't. Yeah, I think that's overkill.
right. You probably need something more than a 2012,
Right.
but you probably don't need the Mac Pro. You can get
But
something
then
in between that.
Gabriella, how much RAM do you have? You might be able to, but see, there's the video card, and it's 2012, like Fran says. You don't
And
need top of the line, but you do need something a little bit more than 2012. You could get a refurbished 2015, 2016 if it
well,
has
I got a 2019, and I have 1.5. Did I get a terabyte in this thing? I got
I
a
think so.
terabyte, I believe, in here. It's not a Pro though.
See, that's your hard drive.
Right.
Um, okay. Gabrielle says it's expandable up to 8.
Terabytes.
Yeah, but see, okay, she's also looking at the iMac. Okay, if you can afford a newer iMac Pro, get it, because I was using an old one up until I got the brand new one in December. But I was using the 2015 before, and it was fine. But I had to up my memory. This is the key. When you're working with editing and photo, you gotta max that RAM out. The hard drive,
Right.
it's
The hard
okay.
drive is not a problem.
You gotta max out your memory, and you have to make sure you have a video card that can handle it. So those are the two things you need to focus on. Maxing out the hard drive, not the hard drive, maxing out the RAM, get as much as you can afford, as much as, because you'll see a huge difference. It's like being in a Toyota versus a Ferrari. You'll see a huge difference, just memory. And then you got to check your video card and make sure that it's up to speed and can handle it. That's all you need. The hard drive space, you know, you can get an extra drive later. But the most important thing is memory. That's what I was saying. People get a computer and got 4 gigs of memory. I'm like, man, that ain't gonna do a thing. You gotta max it up to what you can afford. So that's what I would look at.
Gabriella says the Apple Fix store said that they could max out my memory on my 2012.
Okay, but
Okay.
check the video card also. Just let them know what you're trying to do, and check to ask them, is the video card okay? The video adapter, is it okay? And then max out the memory, and you might be able good to go.
And then I would ask the people at the Genius Bar of Apple, because sometimes going to the other guys,
right? Even though they might know, but you want to go with, if you got a Mercedes, you go to the Mercedes dealer.
There you go.
They take it to the manufacturer.
They know how to fix Mercedes. That's all they do. Now, the other mechanics, they know how to fix all kind of cars. And a Mercedes is a different car to maintain than a Toyota.
Right.
Different, a lot. So that's how we can explain it. With cars, you get a Mercedes, you gotta go to a Mercedes dealership. You can't go to the corner guy. Not with a Mercedes.
Nope.
Yeah, so do that. Those are the two things you need to focus on. Max out your memory, make sure your video card is good. If you can upgrade that, those are the two things that you check. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters when it comes to video editing. Brenna says, I bought many items refurbished before, lasted just as long than the original that I bought. Well, yeah, and it depends. If you buy a refurbished Mac, Apple products, then that's kind of good than say something else, another brand. Because again, it's analogy with the cars. You buy a older, well-maintained pre-owned Mercedes, it's better than a brand new Hyundai or whatever, because it's been maintained at a higher level, a higher standard of excellence. Like they care more. And
they do yeah, that's it. They do one thing.
Yeah. They do one thing.
Jay, Jay, I think that may answer your question. Is refurbished good to buy? I
Yeah,
think that.
this is the key with refurbished now because Jay has has windows. That's a whole nother ball of wax.
That is, yes.
Because they do more than one. There's more than one Windows PC manufacturer, and they have different parts. Whereas
Hmm.
Apple is one manufacturer, they use one kind of part for each item, and they know where it's coming from. Either they made it or somebody else made it, especially for Apple. That's the key. That's why they cost so much. People go, "Oh, why the price?" Because they have a higher level of excellence. It's the same thing with a car. Why does the Mercedes cost so much? Why does a Bentley cost so much? Because there's a higher level. Why do you buy designer clothes? There's the higher level of quality, excellence, and experience going into the product. And it's the same thing with computers.
Right.
So you have to get what you can afford, and then you have a different budget, and you go, okay, it's time to upgrade.
And then if I was Coach Karen, she would tell you plan for that higher budget. Plan for taking your car or whatever back to the original manufacturer. Put that as a part of your plan.
Yeah.
Expect to make that amount of money
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Put it as a part of the budget. It's a
Yeah.
write off. Your equipment is a write off.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
Yes. Yeah. So
That equipment. So
you're going to get what your budget can get today, but you're going to plan for what you can get in 6 months or a year. I'm going to move up to this because I'm going to have more money to upgrade my equipment. You always want to upgrade your equipment for business. It's always
right.
important because it pays in the long end. Same thing with a car. You buy a Mercedes, it pays you get more in the long end. That's what's so great about that is that you get more quality, more for your money in the long end.
And
Okay.
it lasts you a longer amount of time. I
Yeah.
had a Mercedes, a 92 Mercedes.
Yep.
92. I bought it from a doctor or a dentist or somebody who had it, and he was the original owner. That car ran and ran
Because
and ran and ran and ran.
right. One owner, one previous owner.
And
Maintain.
only reason why I don't have it now is because it is to 2020.
Right. But that's the deal with why you buy a Mercedes or the higher end cars, because the quality of the product, the maintenance structure, what you get more bang for your buck in the long end. You're paying more at the front, but you're getting more out of it over a length of time.
I just retired my 2004 iMac. I had it since '04.
Wow.
And it was still working. It's
Still
just
working.
I couldn't upgrade to the newest operating system because they said, look, that
Right.
it's
They cut
just
it off.
over.
Yeah.
We can't do anything.
Apple will not maintain older computers because it costs too much money for them to have an operating system that works on this, and this, and this, and this model. That's just too much. Too
So
much.
they said, well, you can retire it and just put it out to pasture pretty much. And I was like, dang it. And it was slow. But I couldn't make it go any faster because it was old. It was
Right.
2004.
But that's why there's a
16
new
years.
phone every year. That's why there's a new iPad every year. That's why, because the insides are work better and faster. It's not the
Right,
outside, it's the inside. It's the memory chip, it's the motherboard. All of those components are newer and faster. That's why.
right,
If you can't upgrade, that's fine. You wait another year, a year or two till you upgrade, and then you can see the difference when you get a new phone and you've had an older phone that's like 2 or 3 years old. When you get the new one, you see the difference immediately because the parts, the components, the memory chip, all those things that Apple talks about, they got the new that chip. It's because it's important as far as things working faster and better.
right.
That's why you pay more. Okay.
Uh, uh,
Oh my God.
David is in the house. Brenda said, I need to upgrade my brain to get quicker downloads. And Jay, he says, I want to upgrade to a Mac computer because he's sick and tired of PC.
Okay,
You
so
can
this,
do it.
I'm gonna give you a tip, Jay, and you have to know your specs. That means research the Apple product that you want. Right now, Facebook Marketplace, people are selling their Apple, the ones that unfortunately need cash are selling their Apple devices, their Apple computers, their Apple this and that, and others. So you want to keep an eye out. But first, you need to know, well, what do I want? Which model do I want? What memory I need? The specs. And you can go to apple.com and look at that and research all of the old ones, not just new equipment. All the old information is there. See what you like and just keep an eye out for it. And you'll get a good deal right now.
We got a couple of comments here. Jay said he's looking at a 2012 refurbished MacBook. He's asking, is that okay?
Okay.
That's 6 years old.
David says get the 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's not 16 feet. Jay, are you doing video, or was it Gabriella that's doing video? Remind me, Jay.
Gabriella is doing video, and it just
Jay,
depends on what Jay is using that
right,
MacBook for.
right. Let me know. The keyboard is what makes it. Thank you, David. David knows tech too.
Yes, he does.
But I'm telling you, this is a buyer's the buyer's market. I'm sorry to be like that, but keep your eye out. Facebook Marketplace, maybe eBay. I'm not sure. I'll just throw that out, but just keep
Um,
your eye out.
Offer up.
There's a bunch of apps that the people are selling things like in your neighborhood. There's tons of apps. I think one is Let's Go. There's a
Let
bunch
go.
of them. Let
Right.
Go. There's a
Let
bunch.
go. Oh, Jay is talking about for live streaming.
Oh, okay.
Still
The
saying
2012
Chromebook.
should be fine. Just max out the memory. Just max out the memory. 2012 should be fine for live streaming.
David wants to come on and talk about let
All
me
right.
find let me get his
You want to
link.
transition?
Yeah, let me find the link. Copy to clipboard. Go to Facebook. Find David Vaughn. Stand by, David. Oh, there he is. Okay, so he should be able to jump in now.
Yeah, Jay, just check this facts and keep an eye out. There's tons of apps where people are selling things, and you might want to do locally because it'll be quicker and faster. And then remember, you have to do social distancing. Be
Okay,
careful.
lay it down over there, put it on the grass and back away,
Yeah.
and then I'll go pick it up.
So just be careful. But 2012 should be fine if all you're doing is live streaming. Because guess what? If you're using StreamYard, it's browser based, so you don't need to open up a bunch of apps. That's what we love about
No,
StreamYard.
this is just I love it. It's browser based, and I
Mhm.
don't have to do a thing.
And your guests, you send them a link, and they come on. They don't have to install a thing. Boop, they just come right on. So yeah, you might be able to get away with the 2012. I would look at 2015. I just have 2015 stuck in my head.
Yeah, yeah, I would because that's like 5 years, and I'm liking that better than
A 2012.
uh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm liking
Maybe, yeah.
2015 better than 2012.
Change it to 2015. And keep your eye out. There's deals everywhere. Find your favorite. I'm gonna read. I'll look up the apps because I know one of them is Let Go, and one there's a couple other apps that you can the people
He,
buying and selling.
right, offer up and
Okay, let's put it. I'm putting a comment. Offer up.
offer up, let go. Macari is a new one.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Macari. I think it's Mecari.
Yes.
Investigate those and look at Facebook Marketplace.
There's David. I'm going to let David in here. But Gabriella says, thank you, ladies. I just realized that the iMac Retina 5K is under 2K and would work memory-wise. My current iMac gives me gray screen for almost 60 seconds on startup. I think my hard drive is about to check out on me. And here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to say this. Get Apple Care.
Yep.
Just get the Apple Care, because then you can take it back to them and they'll just handle it. Hey, David.
David.
Don't
what
skimp out.
Screen
Get the
is
Apple Care on everything that you buy Apple, that they offer Apple Care on. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes, we can hear you. Just get it. I was like,
Can you see me?
Okay, David.
Yes.
What's the question? So,
What?
2015 Apple is good or desktop?
Okay, so here's the thing. After having lots of different MacBooks, in fact, I have lots of MacBooks still. The 2015, 16, whichever one, where they started doing that third gen butterfly keyboard thing.
Yeah, the touch thing.
Yeah, the keyboard sucks.
Yeah. I think it's 2016.
When they did the 16-inch MacBook, which you can actually get a spec 16-inch MacBook cheaper than you could have gotten a 15-inch MacBook. Anyway, they redid the keyboard and they brought it back to like it used to be, and it's so much better. I'm ready to get rid of this MacBook. So,
okay, so therefore, Jay or somebody in here, you might have, David might sell you his.
Well, no, I'm telling him not to get this type of MacBook. So I'm not going to tell him not to get this one because of the keyboard and then sell him this one that has that keyboard.
Now, what keyboard is
that would make me, I'm gonna find some unwitting sap on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay,
actually, I had quite a few people, but I've got a certain price that I want to sell it for, and I'm not desperate to sell it. I'll sell it when I sell it, and so I'm not,
So the keyboard, and it's the 2015. What is the keyboard doing or not doing?
This Mac is hold on real quick. They changed the keyboard. This is the 2018 MacBook Pro, the 15-inch.
Okay.
And it's got the they went and changed the updated the keyboard to a Gen 3 butterfly type keyboard. Anyway, the keys, it's almost like if you've ever had a MacBook Air. It's the keys are just like they are on a MacBook Air, and I could never stand the keyboard on a MacBook Air. It's too flat and flush, and I need something that's got a little bit more depth to it when I type.
Okay, so where the keys are rise up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you get that on the older.
Yeah, you get that on the older one, and
you get. And I think you get that on the iPad Pro case.
What, the new one?
Yeah. Well, the old one too. My case on the iPad Pro, I was like, "Dang, this is nice," because you're typing and it seems flawless.
Feel real. Cute.
Yeah, it's real. It really does, and I'm like, okay, I like this. And they only make one case for the Pro.
Right.
I even tested out when the new iPad Pro. Well, it's not the new one now. It's an older one. But when they redid it, I tested those out to see if my workday could actually slip to an iPad Pro because it was so much easier. It's almost there, and I did it before iPad OS, which introduced some of the features that I was missing, like being able to save and retrieve external file storage that was plugged in and stuff. So I probably need to go back and play with it. But
okay. Well, Jay is asking, do you have a nice MacBook you want to sell?
Do I have a nice Mac that I want to sell? No, I'm sorry. I have this one, and it is nice. I just don't like the keyboard, and so I'm not going to offer to sell it to you because the keyboard just really does suck.
Okay, but he might.
But if you like, Terry was saying, if you go on Facebook Marketplace In fact, so here's what, if you're desperate, it kind of puts you in a different light.
Yeah.
You know, if you need it.
Mhm.
I try to, when I have funds available, I try and keep that in mind, and I look sporadically as I go along, because I pay what I'm willing to pay, not what somebody else is asking typically, unless what they're asking is like a super good price, which is usually not the case. So I got this MacBook with Apple Care, super cheap off of Facebook Marketplace. And it came to the point. I sat there, I went to the guy, I was like, hey, listen, I asked him all these questions and I said, I'll give you this much. And at first he was like, no. And then actually he was just like a few hours later, all of a sudden he reached back out. He was like, can you do this? And I was like, nope. Once that person reaches back out to you, you got them. Stick to your guns on what your price is that you want to pay. I said, no, really, this is all I can do. Who cares what the reason is? Don't give all that type of stuff. So Facebook Marketplace, you got to hunt a little bit. You may not be, it's not like walking into the store and buying and walking out.
You got to know. That's what I said about the specs. You got to know. Yeah. Jay, reach out to me if you want to, if you want to know some more details.
And then Brenna says 2016 is better, laptop or desktop?
I was talking about the 16-inch. So the 2019 or 2020 16-inch MacBook that they came out with, that keyboard is better. Well, all the specs on it are better because it's got a bump in the processor, not much, but memory and all, and storage and all that type of stuff. But yeah.
Let's say you're talking about the MacBook Pro. Or just
I'm talking about the MacBook Pro. Now, if you can get away with, if you don't need the mobility, then go with the desktop like the iMac or something. Those are great. I wouldn't necessarily say you need a Mac Pro or an iMac Pro.
Yeah, that's overkill.
When an iMac can typically do what you're doing.
Just
if you are in the film industry and you are putting together a 2-hour feature-length film for the next Star Wars franchise, you're going to need a $50,000 computer.
Yeah, that's what they use it for.
Otherwise, $2-3 you're probably sitting really pretty. Less than $2,000 is you're probably still sitting pretty. It really depends on
what you're using it for.
What you're really doing. Don't go out into, especially now since we've all gotten to the point we have to work from home, and all of a sudden we've had the rise of people that are the experts in live streaming come back out of the woodwork, and they've got lower thirds going on, and they've got flash bombs and JJ Abram the flash scenes going on, and all these different, and they're bringing in all these people and they sound like they're at CNN
underwater.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to those people because they've wasted a lot of money in a lot of extra dedicated systems. These ladies are using StreamYard. StreamYard works out of your browser and it's great. Yeah. So I probably wouldn't go any older than a 2015 MacBook at this time. Okay. That's about 5 years of age. And you also have to realize that the rule of thumb is with laptops is that the average person should get about 3 to 5 years good use out of it. MacBooks are a little bit more tough to it, so you could probably tack on a couple of years, and it really depends on what that person's doing. Most people, when they buy these MacBooks, they're checking websites and they're checking email.
Yeah, that's
they're not taxing it very hard for a lot of things like I would be doing. A desktop type system, you can get between 6 and 7 years out of it, like a PC type deal. So those are usually 2015 is really. You still got good specs on it. It'll run everything that you want it to run right now, but I wouldn't go older than that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a MacBook Air and it runs fine. It does what I need because I'm not doing video and some other stuff. And I just pick it up.
2014.
and I just pick it up and go where I need to go. It's lightweight. I can do what I need to do. And if I could do everything on my iPad, I wouldn't take the Air. I wouldn't take it with me. I would just use the iPad Pro, but I can't do everything, not yet, on the Pro. Now, the Pro, I was able to transfer files like David was talking about, where you have the USB-C, and you can actually put a flash drive on there and move stuff around. I'm like, yes, this is genius right here. And I'm almost there. But there are some things that I need to do that requires the MacBook Air. And I have an iMac for when I'm at home.
You know, you can use the document app to transfer stuff too, files.
Right. Yes.
That
And so
app, it's by Riddle, called Document.
I just use files. The files that came in the Air and my iCloud files, and it works.
I use Google Drive.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
And you can download FileStream, or for if you have a G Suite account or whatever it's called. If you don't have a G Suite account, it's the exact same thing pretty much. But you can host the files on your computer if you want, or you can just upload, download, depending.
And that's
so it really depends on what you're doing. It does require internet connectivity, but
right. So everything, the internet is the key for all of it, because if you don't have internet connectivity, you're not talking to anybody else.
And that's what we were saying earlier about, rural areas not having it and the kids not having a Wi-Fi. We were talking about that earlier. So that's the most important thing.
Right. Brenna has another comment here. Hey, Pat, welcome back. Brenna says, I got a Pivo. Why does it require another platform to broadcast? Hey, I don't know. I got to share my daughter's
I think she means a Mevo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Hopefully that's what you mean, because I don't know what Pivo is.
Mevo. Maybe it did a autocorrect.
Okay, because Mevo is just a camera.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a broadcast platform. That's why we're using StreamYard.
Because we don't have to figure out it's browser. You just open your browser and
use the camera.
Yeah, that's it. And you go right into this. It could be easier. And there's so many people getting on with Stream. Zoom is the hot thing now. Zoom is the hot topic. I tell people StreamYard.
Yeah, because Zoom is doing too much. They have to download the app and a bunch of stuff.
Zoom got lucky.
Yeah.
But now people are finding out that Zoom's got some privacy issues to it. It's got some compromise
giving data to Facebook without permission, all kind of stuff.
It does require you to go in and do some settings, which even on the free account you got, but most people don't sit there and go in and turn off the camera or open up the waiting room or anything like that. I'm actually gonna do a quick video with some slides and stuff on that and post that out to Facebook. There's also an apparent FBI warning that goes with Zoom.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I saw that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. No,
it was done with NPR. Let's see, where's the FBI warning portion of it? Zoom bombers is what people are calling the FBI. The FBI is warning schools in particular to be careful. FBI has received multiple reports of conferences being disrupted by pornographic and/or hate images and threatening images, and that's why I'm doing the little video that I'm done. And I'm not the only person. I'm not the first person to do it. But it's there was a class. Some California school teacher was using Zoom for whatever class it was, and somebody had come in and they started running a porn film on the Zoom, and it was because they didn't take that moment to sit there and say, oh, I need to change these settings and stuff because they didn't know. And that's okay that they didn't know. It's just,
Right.
you
All
know,
these
because this,
systems should be using Google Classroom. That's what my daughter's using. Google
Yep.
Google. There's a Google Hangout, Google Meet inside everything inside of that. There's no Zooming going on where you have these issues. So I don't know why some of these schools.
well, even Google Meet could
right.
have the same connotations of
Right.
somebody hacking into it. And I
Mhm.
mean, Google's not impervious to it.
Everything's hackable.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of school systems are using Google G Suite in classroom and
Yeah.
stuff. And even that's not perfect. I mean, my son's school system is actually a really good example. And it's been frustrating over the years. They have it locked down so tight. I mean, they just turned off. Yeah, it was like the guy didn't even, or the team didn't even go in to learn. They just sat there and they said, no, we'll just shut everything off.
Wow.
And then if we need to open something up because something doesn't work. And then what happened was this happened and everybody went home, and he has certain access at home. And then he has his laptop, his Chromebook, which he got from the school. So he has certain access that he can do with that. But then if he's working on our desktop computer in the kitchen or anything using Chrome, we can set it up. I've set it up so he can log into his browser that way. But it recognizes that it's from a foreign machine on a foreign network. So it reduced some of the, like printing.
Yeah.
Some things had to be printed. Now, nothing has to be printed now, but because he's not turning anything in. But
Right.
I mean, but when he goes on to school, everything's open. And the funny thing is, using like the apps, like the classroom app on the phone, you didn't have the same restrictions as you did trying to use the desktop computer or his computer. And it's because the APIs use a different hook into the system. And it was just so, yeah, it's been educational, and, you know, they'll have a hang of it by September when we're all back in school and the second wave starts to peak.
So Brenna's Get Pivo is a device that changes your camera, your phone into a where you can track the video, can track you. It's kind of like Mevo camera, but this is not the camera. It's just a device that allows you to do that. So yes, because the software is not built in,
right,
you're going to have to send it somewhere else. Yep. You got to go?
Yeah. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good time.
Well, I'm not trying to keep you if you're done.
Okay, we're all going to go together.
Oh, we're all going. Okay. No,
we're all going. Okay.
Yeah. So David, thank you for stepping in, and you're more than welcome to come in on.
Yeah.
On the
David's welcome anytime. You know that.
Bring us some stuff and talk to us about, keeping safe online and all kind of stuff.
Well, all right. I'm interested to see what WWDC and Google's I/O is going to be like.
Oh.
Did y'all hear that? Before Terry goes, so South by Southwest and Amazon have teamed up. There's going to be 10 or 15 or 20 films that were supposed to be debuted at South by Southwest.
They're putting them on.
Amazon's going to show them to everybody, whether you're a Prime member or not, for free.
Oh, wow.
So
that's nice.
I love the first runs now going direct to the streaming platforms. I've been waiting a decade for that. Theater.
Well, it's here.
Yeah,
I don't go to the movie theater, so now I'm watching all the movies.
I gotta go, guys.
All right.
All right. Bye. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week on Monday. Thanks, David.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming in.
Sure. Absolutely.
All righty. Bye-bye.